Hey, good morning. Today is Thursday, October 30th. It is 6:51 a.m. Central Time. So didn't really trade too much yesterday. I did round trip a short in gold and got out basically break even and then later saw it dump after all the rate stuff. So I was pretty sad about that. But stayed away from the market just because rate cuts and everything. And so we'll see what things look like today. So I was looking at the options flow for gold, SPY, and Q put together, and it's interesting. Like 2 months out, like things for expiry within 2 months, like things look a little bit bearish. Within 3 weeks, things get a little bit more bullish. And here in the next week, it's more bullish. If we look at the Qs, we're bullish. If we look at the SPY, if we look at the SPY, we're bearish with expiry in the next week. And we look at gold, super bullish. So that's interesting. Um, so definitely going to be kind of cautious on shorts with gold. So it seems like everybody is betting for us to go up. So that is something to keep in mind there. And then kind of quick look on the AIs. So we got NQ. So it's interesting. Like NQ is near highs, but the sentiment is neutral. Um, Mild buy on ES, even though we're at highs, and then gold is bearish, which is what it looks like. And then on GPT, we have bullish on NQ. ES is neutral to bullish with, I think it's the broad market breadth is weak. I think I heard something where like 75% of the S&P closed down on the day yesterday, but we're like near all-time highs. So that's kind of interesting. And then gold is going down. And then Claude is saying that NQ is neutral to bullish, ES is bullish, and gold is bearish. So it's interesting. I feel like ES is neutral to bullish and NQ is more bullish. But you just gotta take all this with a grain of salt for what's happening in the news. So government still shut down some earnings. Amazon, big deal. Apple, big deal after the close. So that is good. Um, I guess for what it's worth, I think LLY had good earnings. I just heard on the news, so I guess that is good for SPY. Oh, and tomorrow we got some PCE stuff, so this will be interesting. So something to look forward to there. And then yeah, for the rate cut, we had our 25 basis point cut, so that happened. Um, I think December is still up in the air. It seems like, and so I guess if we hop into the indexes chart just to see what things are shaking up to be. So we have NQ. I mean, we eked out a new high again. So there you go. I think that happened right after the close. And then we kind of pulled back a little bit and now we're kind of pushing up green, which is fine. Same thing with ES, eked out a new high, kind of holding up in the middle of the candle. And then we got the Russell kind of falling over. So I feel like maybe there's going to be a rotation back into Russell to push us to highs. So that could be a thing. Ooh, Dow. Not as strong as NQ and SPY. So I'll definitely be watching this 47 530s. If we break below that, maybe we start cracking a little bit. So that is something to watch. VIX is pretty cool at 15s. So there you go. Dollar showing a little bit of strength, but still kind of just in this range that it's been trading in since April. So there you go. Nothing really noteworthy for Treasury note yields. It's just gone up a little bit. And then for gold, so we're coming back to life here. So we'll see. So we closed green yesterday. Yep. And so it looks like we're going to open. I mean, I don't know if we're going to open green, but let's see. People put a lot of bought a lot of calls expiring in the next week or so. So maybe we do push up. So I will keep an eye on that. I mean, we got earnings in tech today, and there's some news and stuff tomorrow. I think there's also the China deal. I think there was positive news there that I guess President Trump and Xi came to some type of agreement. So that seems bullish. So there you go. So we got Apple. Apple has, yeah, so earnings are today. So let's see how we look, but we are at highs, so that's pretty amazing. Microsoft kind of cooling off after that push up. Amazon, I think we have earnings today, yeah. So we'll see. Man, Google is crazy. Just new highs, new highs, new highs. Pretty amazing. Um, Meta, I saw something like after hours or they had earnings and it dropped pretty crazily and it looked pretty big on the charts that I was seeing, but this doesn't look big at all. So maybe I'm missing something. Oh no, I am missing something. So pre-market, yes, craziness, crazy gap down. So I guess this is going to be interesting to watch. Um, Probably, I'll see if we push up here and see what we do, but this will be the thing that drags us down, I think, for sure. Um, so we'll keep an eye on that. Let's see if we keep going lower, if we can push up. But I mean, NVIDIA is helping everybody shake it all off. So we are at highs again. So there you go. Tesla is just hanging out and just coiling up, just hanging out at these highs. So we'll see. And Qs look strong. So I mean, yeah, Meta's maybe weighing us down. So we'll see how we go. And then we'll look at the Mega SPY here really quick. All right, so we got Broadcom making highs. Berkshire. Wow, I guess that whole news thing with like worrying about the succession um, might be kind of pushing us down, but we'll see. The succession of Warren Buffett, sorry. And then we got JP Morgan. Yeah, coming back to life here. Holding up above this EMA, so that seems a little bit strength for the SPY. LLY had good earnings. Looks like they had a little bit gap up, so that's strong. Visa, I think they have earnings, right? Yeah, they might have earnings, so we'll see. And Netflix, again, I still think we'll hit 1,000, so let's see what happens there. Costco is just basing here, so we'll see how that goes. And then we have the SPY, which is the SPY. So, I mean, there's a little bit of cracks happening, you know. I mean, Meta's a little bit worrying. I mean, Netflix still kind of weighing us down. Berkshire is kind of falling over. Costco's basing at the support level. Um, so a little bit mixed, right? I mean, Broadcom is up, LOY is up, JP Morgan Chase is trying to get up. And but there's definitely more up on the tech sector when we're looking at those charts. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see if cracks start to show. And so if we look at our trading charts here, so this is regular trading hours. Yeah, so here's kind of the wide range from, I guess, the rate cut stuff had the flush and then we pushed back up and all that, which is to be expected. Nice range there. We had a lot of dark pool levels here printed on the ES and right here as well. So definitely we'll be watching these areas. Obviously the highs as well. I mean, there's a couple gaps to close, right on the ES to the downside. And I think the same thing for the NQ. Um, but yeah, if we look at electronic trading hours here, so the thing is, like, we had this craziness, and I guess we can make this a little bit bigger. We had all this craziness, um, all the Fed stuff, rate cuts, decisions, and all that, and then eked back up to here. And then I guess we sold off. I'm not sure what happened here I mean, I think we just swept all time highs and sold off, but we're just hanging out between these two dark pool levels. And so, really, are we going to stay above this today and tomorrow, or are we going to be below those? And for me, that will be the tell. But right now, we're kind of just at VWAP, which coincidentally is in between these dark pool levels. So there you go. We'll just have to see how things go there. I think for me, the plan for the open is really just to see how price behaves at these two boundaries and then decide which direction to go. But yeah, um, whatever volume gap was here to push us up, it feels like lots of volume traded here, lots of volume traded here a little bit. So we'll see. And if we look at, well, I guess let's look at the Qs here really quick. So Qs on the trading chart, kind of very similar. Or I guess we can look at the 1 hour, make it a 1 hour. If we do electronic trading hours here. And so we had kind of this whip action with the rate cuts pushed up into highs, made highs, and then big dump down, but really big dump down and bounced off of this dark pull level, broke through this one. And now we're literally just trading at this dark pull level. So, I think you just have to see how price is behaving. Do we stay above this? Do we go below this? Do we try to retest this level? Um, yeah, and I think there's billions traded here and here. So I'll just be watching that. Yeah, very similar to the ES as per usual. So you had this kind of low volume area. We pushed up into highs, fell over, lots of volume traded here. Tried to come back up here, fell over again, and now we're just kind of hanging out. And VWAP itself is pretty straight. So, and we're kind of hanging out at those dark pools at 2.6, 260s. So yeah, I will just really be watching what price looks like. Don't really have a bias. I'm very conscious we're at highs, and so there's also earnings in the evening or after hours. So I think that'll set the tone for the Qs, and so we'll definitely waiting for that. And then so for gold, let's see what's happening with gold here. If we look at, this is all electronic trading hours. So we had one like 100 million dark pool printed at this 40.21 equivalent, which is kind of like this break, the support resistance breakdown level situation. And so which kind of makes me wonder, were you buying at these lows? But this transacted on Wednesday, so it actually happened somewhere around here. So if you are well, it was reported on Wednesday, so it's possible it transacted on Tuesday, because there's the real-time dark pools and then there's dark pools that had to be reported within 24 hours. So it could be here where they were selling on this break potentially, or it could have been here where they're either buying or selling on this break, not sure. And so I will be watching this level. It looks like we kind of pushed into it and falling back over. So let's see if we can get up to it again. If we fall back over, obviously I like the short. If we can reclaim and continue going, then I'll follow the options flow. So we'll see how that goes. Um, but yeah, it looks like got into it, fell over right at it, fell over twice. So 1, 2. And this is all within, oh, this is after, yeah, the rates discussion. So fell over, hit that again, fell over again. Yeah, so we'll see. A little bit more short bias as I look at this. There's some imbalance here, so I'll put an alert there. Yeah. I think things look a little bit more clear for me on gold. Definitely more on the short side if we can get back up to here. But if we reclaim that, maybe we go higher. I think for ES and NQ, I'm really just going to kind of see how price behaves at those levels, and then just look for just see what happens. So I think that's it for me. I think I'm just going to kind of let things shake out for a bit, maybe for like the first 15 minutes, opening range and all that, and then yeah, just see what price looks like. Cool. Well, that is it for me. Good luck and don't get caught.